Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly video. We received the second of the Dead Matter weekly updates from the team at QI Software recently, and there's definitely some stuff to look at in this one, and one particular item that I'm incredibly excited for. In this video, we'll take a look at what's been given to us and do a bit of a deeper inspection into some of the features, explaining how they work and what we might be able to expect in the closed alpha. Just to kick off with a couple of the smaller details, we've seen some work from TAC on the Edda pistol, which is definitely not a Glock, by the way, as you can see. The details are now finished with texturing coming soon. It looks like there's a very nice range of customization we can do with this weapon, so I'm sure it'll act as a trusty sidearm in the close quarter environments that we're naturally going to face. Nomad has been working on a go-kart track, complete with fully functional go-karts to give players a little bit of joy in the usually dismal world of post-apocalyptic Canada. We also saw some functional clocks added to the game by Kyle, otherwise known as Disseminates, which will actually follow in-game time. A small but welcome quality of life addition so that we can check the time when we're scavenging through local housing if we don't have a watch of our own. Disseminate has also been working on gas pumps, vehicle colors, and getting the power to function as intended. I'd like to focus on power a little more closely here, as we've been given a bit of footage which I find really interesting. There's a note left by the team saying that turning off power for most buildings, especially player-controlled buildings, will be much harder than this, but the footage we've been given helps to demonstrate that we'll be able to interact in some very interesting ways by using items connected to the power grid. Turning off power could be a necessary step for the avid base raider, but leaving power on may also give you options when it comes to alarms. Triggering an alarm is naturally going to draw the attention of nearby infected, so I can imagine doing so will have defensive advantages for protecting your base from outside threats, but it could be equally troublesome if you're looting when an alarm starts to blare. It'll be nice to see how this ties into our gameplay when players get their hands on the game itself. And whilst we're at it, it wasn't mentioned in this update, but I feel like it's important to note that vehicles will also be alarmed in some cases, and that in order for power to function as intended, the local power substation must have power enabled. We're going to be able to turn that on and off as we like at the power substation. Otherwise, yeah, if the power isn't on, it's lights out for that area of the map. Again, a really cool way that electricity can change our gameplay. Next up, we're going to take a look at some more crafting mechanics. Gunslinger has been working with Riz and Kyle on Campfire Crafting and maintenance systems, which looks really good so far. Again, this is another example of Dead Matter's simple inventory and crafting mechanics. All you have to do is hold F on a log to turn it into some wooden planks, providing you have the right tools on you to do so. From there, one stick dragged onto a handful of leaves makes a campfire kit. Place down your campfire kit, fill with the necessary supplies prompted on your overlay, and you're all done. Adding firewood once the fire is up and running is as simple as pressing F. Before I jump into the next major reveal of this update, I really want to touch on a new weapon that is now animated and has audio to boot, the R700. Those of you that spend a lot of time in my community may know that this is my shared backer weapon with Finest XI, a good friend of mine and another content creator who's looking forward to Dead Matter. I won't fangirl over this too much, and believe me, I want to, but I'm just gonna let you have a look for yourself. Enjoy. So that brings us to the very last point of the update, and this one I'm going to talk about it in a bit more detail and explain how the mechanics will work. Dr. Yitz, one of the newer members of the team, has gotten 2 more safe zones added to the map, one of which belongs to the infamous pirate radio broadcaster, Duke Cartilage. If you're not familiar with the name, Duke Cartilage will be on the in-game radios on a daily basis with conspiracy theories, useful information for players, and I'm willing to bet that he'll be a major story character and will have a few quests for us. You'll be able to listen to Duke on radios found in the world, in your vehicle, or via a handheld radio that will attach to your tool belt. Now, with the radio being a tool belt item, this means that if you die, it will persist on your person through death, unless you're a masochist and choose to play on a hardcore server, like I probably will be. Safe zones in Dead Matter will have several purposes, and this is something I wanted to touch on in this video. The most obvious use we're going to have for these areas is a place to take refuge, but we'll also be able to find NPCs that we can trade with, and possibly even trade with players that are in the area too, considering that there will be a trade system between players. Safe zones will be the base of operations for various factions in Dead Matter, which will have their own relations with each other and you, the player. Lastly, several quest givers will be located in safe zones around the map, so taking a trip to one of these during the early stages will probably help get you started in the world of Dead Matter. Now that we have some images of what these safe zones are going to look like, I figured it was worth touching on the uses for the safe zones themselves again, even though I've done this in the past. Okay, that's everything for me today, guys. I hope this one has proved to give you some bits of info that you maybe haven't heard until now, or at the very least, it linked everything together in a concise fashion. So thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you all in the next one.